welcome. You are listening to the Lama podcast. I'm Gunjan.
I'm Rajiv.
Rajiv, I want to share an interesting ad with you, and I'll translate it in English. It was in Hindi. I don't even remember the brand or product or what it was. A girl, maybe 6, 7 year old girl, she was saying that if we pray nicely, God will protect us. This is what my dad says. However, my mom says if we'll pray nicely, our grandmom will be happy and she will leave her mansion kind of a house for us. And
The estate planning.
and this is what I want to talk about today, where people talk about altruism, that we live for others, we do not live for ourselves. And is this a lie that we are living? कि हम तुम्हारे लिए जी रहे हैं. We have sacrificed so much for you. Is this a lie? Is altruism a lie? And again, I want to snooze the comparison between human beings and insects, because in insects we have seen real altruism compared to what human beings reflect. But yes, your opinion about altruism or selflessness or living life for others.
If you take the definition of altruism, is that where you will, give more importance to the needs and happiness of others than yourself.
Right.
So if going by that definition, I do not believe that altruism exists. And I think we talked about in a couple of our earlier episodes where we said, can love be unconditional? Now, that does not mean that we do not do actions or activities that appear to be altruistic. They appear, but they are actually not all. And we can peel this onion, because I have my own perspective on this. And I particularly believe that the core driving principle of human behavior is selfishness.
So, Rajiv, there has been a substantial amount of research and in the field of psychology, evolutionary biology, economics, and sociology. And everywhere they said that it does impact our well-being. It keeps person motivated. There are a lot of things which are associated with this. And it is something inbuilt. Nobody teaches you. You learn from your grown-ups, your elders.
So, correct. The narrative is that, if you see so many, the happiness index and fulfillment, they say that people who give more in charity, you get a sense of fulfillment.
Yes.
When you give in charity.
Yes.
So my question is, are you giving to charity because you want to experience a sense of fulfillment? Or will you give to charity irrespective whether you like it or not? The moment you say that it makes me happy, then you're not doing altruistic, anything. You're doing it for your own happiness. So that's why I think it's a paradox. And I don't think that true altruistic behavior, yes, there are instances. And I think the only instance I can think of is when you truly fall in love with somebody. That I think is the only, the definition of love and everything. So
Yes.
My definition, when the only thing that matters is the other person. Now, when I say love, it's not simply a man and a woman or a sexual love, because I think that's what people will immediately gravitate to. It can be love towards your nation. It can be love towards your God. It can be love towards your parent,
It
child.
can be love towards your passion.
Anybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, for example, if you love books, you could go hungry and use the money to buy books. But there again, there is there is a particular, I would say, sense of fulfillment or, getting something in return, some value in return. Pure altruistic behavior, I think, is only between two human beings who are deeply in love with each other. That's my opinion.
Rajiv, just one case study, And
Hmm.
this was studied worldwide. There was this attack on Hotel Taj on 26/11/2008. Staff did not run away.
Hmm.
They were helping the guests. They knew each and every exit door. They had control over CCTV. I don't know if they had control over CCTV camera or not. They were helping guests. They did not run away.
Hmm.
And this was made as a case study that how Taj motivated their people to stay even in such a tense situation where it is a matter of death and life, and they are not well equipped. They are not
Hmm.
soldiers or police officers or trained guards even. They were just hotel staff, just like you and me. They were just hotel staff. Still, they were there.
Yes, yes, yes. That's a good example of altruistic behavior, where the workers of Taj, they put the well-being and safety and everything of the guests, ahead of their own. So yes, so I'm not saying that it does not exist. All I'm saying is it is very, very extremely rare, and it does not come naturally.
I think it comes naturally. I think because the way we all are grown up, we have always seen our moms working very hard, dads working very hard. I think somehow we ingrain that.
Well, okay, if that's what you think. I believe that, there is a lot of codependence, right? Even if you, let's say, going back to the example that you took, the Taj, this thing, right? The staff is groomed, they are duty bound to make sure that their guests are safe. It's like the soldiers, right? They are paid, they are hired, they are trained to die for their country. Security guards, so a lot of these people, they are, whenever there is a payment involved, or whenever there is a fame involved, whenever there is something that you expect out of your behavior, that for me is not altruistic behavior. For me, altruistic behavior is when you put the other person's whatever happiness, well-being more than your own, but you do not expect anything in return.
And yes, and simple gestures like leaving a seat on a bus because there's an elderly person and you're just not expecting anything.
No,
You just,
but those are social etiquettes. Those are social etiquettes because when I leave, when I get up, I get a positive signal to myself. I'm a good, good citizen.
yeah. Or maybe that thing is by
Right?
back of our mind that when
Yeah,
we
because that is ingrained. You see, these are social norms. So, I would not say social norms are, the good example of altruistic behavior.
right.
So the thing is, the behavior is exhibited day in, day out. And that's why, it is very difficult to actually come to terms with that this is a lie we tell ourselves. Here's an example. I remember recently we were, in the US, we were discussing with friends, over the very big homeless problem in US. I don't know how much of media in India shows that. Major problem in home, especially in places where I live, like Bay Area and all, because housing is so expensive that even a person earning $100,000 a year cannot afford a house, cannot afford to pay for a two-bedroom rent by himself or herself. They have to share. It's so expensive.
Yeah, they're
Right?
sharing mattresses
So,
is what I've heard these days that if
well, I don't know about mattresses. That may be for different reasons, but the main thing that I'm saying is that and we were discussing, and all of us are, I would say, considered rich. We have good houses, good, life and everything. So I asked, okay, who all wants to solve this problem? Everybody said yes. Not like I'm not verbalizing everything, but we were discussing it, right? So I said, okay, all of us have 3, 4 bedroom houses, but there's only hardly 2 people living in the house. Why can't we adopt one homeless per house? Problem solved. But nobody would be willing to do that.
yes, nobody will be willing to do that.
So the same thing, you talk about in India, right? How many of us in India, everybody wants to eradicate poverty, everybody wants to, do good so for society and all that. But the moment you have to write the check, the moment you have to make an effort, then things disappear. They only appear when either it will give you fame, it'll give you some mental, boost in terms of, hey, I'm doing good, so I am a good person. Or it'll give you promise of, oh, when I die, I will go into heaven. Who the F knows? So there is the action. The moment you do an action or charity or anything, because you are expecting a reward, whether now, later, or after life or after death, I don't think that's altruistic behavior. That's purely selfish behavior.
Okay. Rajiv, his opinion, just an opinion, and we've discussed earlier also that this is creating dependency. You are making people entitled rather than giving them home, like, adopting them and making them come and stay at your home. How can we think about creating opportunities that they
Yeah,
can
that's different, right? So, but that's yeah. So I definitely believe that we should focus on distribution of opportunities rather than distribution of wealth.
Right. Very well said.
So making sure that everybody has the same access to similar opportunities. Obviously, leaders, let's say Ambani's, children will have access to different level of opportunities than I have or you have or anybody. The maids and the drivers and everybody who are working in and around you, their children will have different access to different kind of opportunities than your son would have. Those differences you cannot remove. The question is that how do we create an environment where everybody gets access to opportunity? And then, this is deviating from this core subject, topic of, altruism and, well-being and what were these sacrifice and compromise and all this. But we can talk about that, when all these politicians want to give freebies, that's not altruism.
Yeah.
It's other people money. Yes, I will. Any politician who says I want to eradicate poverty by taking, money from Ambani's and Adani's and Bill Gates and all these and distributing to poor, I would say, first of all, use your own bank account, wipe it out. When it goes to zero, only then you can speak about using somebody else's wealth. First, use your own wealth. These politicians have like 30, 40, 50 crore, 100 crore in their bank account.
Just a gentle
So let them first train. Yeah, first use your own. Yes, then I would say yes, you are doing, demonstrating altruistic behavior.
Right. And
if you're using other people's money,
if you're
using so then you're just
just a gentle reminder. In our pilot episode, we promised that we will not talk about all these lies that
politics.
yes.
Politics is a big lie anyway.
I'll rather talk about insects.
Birds and bees.
Yes. I'll rather talk about insects that they show true behavior of altruism, where a bee is always protecting a hive. That if someone attacks,
that may be a soldier bee.
Yes. So here's the thing, that if someone attacks the beehive, it's the responsibility of that bee, that soldier bee, that it will protect it. And when it stings, it will release a venom which will kill that bee. And she knows that she will be killed. Still she does that. That's what.
But so do our soldiers on the who are on the front.
But okay, if they're firing, they don't know that it will backfire.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're putting
but here it is 100% chance
100%
that bee will die.
Yeah, but the thing is, how do you know that the soldier bees are not promised some luxury mansion in the their family is not promised something
because
by
they are not
hive.
because they're not humans and they do not have a transactional world that if you want someone to do something for.
But how do you know? You say have you talked
to give them
bees?
some matlabi reason. They don't even know who their kids are. Once they are all grown up, they drift away. They don't even know who their kids are. So for whom they'll save and what will they save?
Yeah, I'm not a bee, so I don't understand their language. I
Same.
don't know.
Even I don't. This is what I have studied. This is what I have seen, and
Yeah, but you
I,
see, my question is, why, and this is where I always laugh at it. I always take it a grain of salt because, the narrative about bee behavior is written by humans through experiments which are already biased based on the, behavior we observe in human beings. I think one of the best articles about, on this topic on how to think like a bat.
okay.
And I think I think that's the title of the article. I may be paraphrasing it. And so you can search on the internet how to think like a bat, artificial intelligence, and you'll see. It's a very very good article. That and the gist of that thing is that the person or the researcher says that yes, we can infer behavior of a bat based on the or the traits or all these things about the bat, or what the bat is thinking based on their behavior only by mimicry of human behavior. We assume that the bats are behaving the same way that a human being will behave in that situation, and the same thing goes for all the other narratives that we see. I'm not saying that they're wrong. All I'm saying is that I always see them from the perspective that it is observed and narrated by human beings who already have a bias towards human behavior.
Bias will.
So whether it is altruistic behavior or welfare of others, if a lion is not hungry, it will not hunt. But a human being will continue to hunt even if it has filled its stomach.
So
And I'm using it like more metaphorically.
yes,
That we
storing
will
is
continue to
something.
eat. Yes, we will
Yes,
continue to eat even if we have, this thing. We will continue to go, keep earning even if we know that we have enough saved for our lifetime. We will continue to do things that we know that, okay, I have had enough.
lot of lot of species do that, Rajiv, and it is about thinking about your future. So ants will do that. They will store for winters because they
That's
know they
different.
can.
That's a different. See, that's a different. They store enough for the winter.
Yes,
They can keep, when the winter is over, they still do not keep storing. They never store for summer.
yes, they will never store for
They only
summer.
store for winter because
Absolutely.
that's fine. See, even you should save for. I'm not saying that what I'm saying is this thing is that let's say you think that whether it's money or fame or whatever it is, right? So you have achieved a certain goal and you're happy. Then why do you keep running after it more and more?
No, it's not running after. You're resetting the goals. You've achieved
That's exactly
something.
it.
You've
So
achieved
think
something,
about that,
and then you need to
the polar
reset your
bear.
goals.
So think
आपको
of
एक लक्ष्य मिल गया, and then you need to reset your goals. Otherwise, how will you stay motivated? Then it will be like,
that's the question. So, but anyway, this is not a topic of motivation. We can talk about that in another podcast,
certainly, Rajiv, we can have a
different
discussion on this.
episode.
Yes, yes, that can be a discussion for some other day. Coming to all tourism and its impact, it does impact your well-being, social cohesion. For economists, it's easy to make the public economic policies. Like there is a reason why we get rebate and tax if we make some donation.
Hmm.
So it is impacting some way or the other. It is
It
impacting.
is. See, I'm not debating or I'm not negating the positive impact of these things because that's what we have grown up with.
Right.
So why do you think that giving in charity is makes you feel good? Because right from your childhood, we have been told that this is good. So when you're told that this is good and you do it, then obviously because your mind has been trained like that. So it is a social no, it is a social requirement. If we were only selfish, although I think that there's very strong, and this is paradoxical, but there's
Yes.
very
Yes.
strong uh, desire to be altruistic for selfish reasons. And I can give an example. So for example, I do not want, I want peace around my place, right? So I would want to make sure that the people I work with or, the people I hire, everybody is taken care of because it will simplify my life. So there's that feedback loop, right? So altruistic behavior, although it may appear to be altruistic behavior, but it is because it is benefiting me also. I go and give something away to somebody is because, it also gives me a feedback or, that creates a positive feedback loop. So they're all combined or I would say co-joined. So altruism cannot exist without selfishness and vice versa.
Rajiv, where do we draw that boundary? Because if you are too nice, people will use you like a doormat. People
Yeah.
have used people like a doormat. So where do you draw that line? And the problem is that what I've heard my parents saying, that we have done so much for so many years. If we don't do
Mm.
it now, all that will, and it's again associated with sunk cost fallacy,
Mm.
right? I just want to know that how can one realize that, okay, you are crossing your boundaries, and how do you maintain those boundaries? I'm nice, and if you want me to continue being nice to you, you need to watch your behavior. How do we inculcate that? Because I somehow believe that what you have is what you can give. If
Yeah,
someone is
always.
using, misusing, abusing you because of your nice behavior,
Mm.
somewhere things will get toxic, somewhere you'll get those
It
grudges
will.
inside
It
you.
will. And it will create regrets.
It will. So, how and where it's important for the person to say stop or give those vibes?
Well, you see, you don't need to give vibes. You should be strong enough to say, okay, enough. So this is where I think it depends on every individual.
Right.
I am a very blunt person. I have enough confidence. I have enough this thing to say enough. And I will only give to charity when I want to give it, not when somebody is asking for it. So, but it is all individual. It is you will have your own threshold. I will have my own threshold. Everybody will have their own threshold. But there are also people who are masochists, right? So these are people who actually get happiness by being tortured by others. Now think about if a masochist and a sadist get together, they're both happy. Right. So there's no one right answer to this thing. But yes, but the main thing is that we all should understand and define those boundaries and make sure that you are being altruistic and you are doing whatever sacrifices or compromises or charity, everything because you want to do it, not because it is expected of you. I think that the moment you do that, and you ask yourself that question that am I doing it because it is expected of me or because I want to do it, even if the other person does not say thank you, even if the other person says, oh, what is this shit, you could have given more. Right? So in spite of that, if it makes you happy, I think then yeah, go for it.
Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you so much for listening to all our lovely listeners. As we explore these complex questions, do let us know if you have thoughts, experiences, you want to come on our show. We would love to listen. Until next time, be kind to others and little hard to yourself. Over to you, Rajiv.
Yes, nicely put. You should be kind to others and hard on yourself. So I don't know whether it directly relates to this, but the couplet, कांटों को ये शिकायत है कि लोग फूलों से ज्यादा मोहब्बत करते हैं.
It happened only in Mughal Azam, where girl was really happy to receive those thorns ki in kaanton ko murjhane ka gam nahi. But yes, usually it's the other way around. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.